Hey, what's up, everybody? I made a new video. So last video that I did, which was the first one on my channel, was talking about my really small apartment. And I know this pretty much looks like the same video, but I know it looks like I just recorded that video, but I literally wear this same hoodie and hat every single day, so I just kind of look like this. Um, so if you see me like wearing the same hoodie or same hat or just same anything in like several videos in a row, that's why. But this video is a little personal. Um, as I said in my last video, I live alone, and I don't really. I mentioned it like briefly at the end of that video, but one thing you should know about me is that I don't really have any friends, and what friends I do have, they're pretty much all the way across the country, and it sounds a little sad, and to an extent it is, and I feel sad for myself at time to time, from time to time, but I mean, it's not really something that I get depressed about, Like when I entered high school, like I was really depressed because I grew apart from my middle school friends. Like I went to a completely different high school from them. And so like for the first 2 years, like I had no friends and like I hated everybody. Literally like this was like the beginning of my emo phase. But like if you saw me, you wouldn't think that I was emo because I didn't look emo. I didn't really care about my appearance as much back then, but I definitely had the mindset of an emo kid, and that's part of the reason I got into like Metallica and Pantera and all these other crazy old school like, metal bands where they talk about like fucking death and shit like that and all these raunchy topics. But I was just an angry kid, and I wanted some sort of appreciation in my life, and nobody was appreciating me. But I didn't quite get it at the time. I was like fucking 14, 15 years old. But yeah, I mean, as somebody who's lived most of his life being sort of outcasted by everybody, I think it's easy for me to say that, like, I've had a short straw dealt to me. Like it's not even that bad. Like I'm making it sound like, I'm making it sound like I attempted suicide, which that never happened. I think I might have come close to that a couple times, but I've never like genuinely like tried to commit it, and I don't even know if I can say that on YouTube, but I mean, there's been a couple times where yeah, like I've like existence genuinely felt painful, but I mean, it's like I sort of found myself subscribing to this thing called absurdism, where it's essentially throwing like it's essentially just the act of throwing a sick party at the end of meaning, essentially. Like, you know I've accepted basically that there's no meaning to life whatsoever, but it's like I've accepted it. So, you know although there's no reason why I'm even here, why I exist, or why I can even think shit like this, it's like I'm here now, so it's like what's the point of trying to take myself out of it if it's like I'm experiencing it right now, like what, like there's no point to living and there's no point to dying, it's like it just fucking happens. Nobody knows why. Anybody that tries to say that they know why, they're fucking wrong and they're delusional. But sorry, that was my ADHD, satirical asshole ego coming out. Yeah, so just to get back on topic, back on the rails, I guess like this video, I want this video to be a little bit about like how I am socially, because if you haven't been able to notice by now, I tend to have a pretty strong resting bitch face. Um, and if you don't know what that is, it's essentially where somebody looks like an asshole, but they're actually probably the nicest person you've ever met. And I'm not saying that I'm the nicest person, but like, I'm definitely not an asshole. I try to be as nice to people as I possibly can. But yeah, I don't know. Like I remember there's been a couple times where people are like, dude, you look stressed, you look angry, are you all right? And I'm like, yeah, I just look like this. Like, it's actually kind of funny sometimes, when it gets to, questions like that. But the reason I brought up the whole resting bitch face thing is mainly because I think that has I think it actually has some sort of backstory, if you want to call it that. I don't know what else to say about it, but yeah, I mean, I've always sort of been treated as like the sidekick, or I don't even know if that's a good term. I don't know if anything's a fucking good term, honestly. I'm just not even gonna give a shit. Like, I'll just say whatever comes to mind first. But um, I've always been sort of thrown to the side by people, like whether that's being taken advantage of or, you know, being used. I've been abused before, nothing too serious, but like, it's like when you get bullied and you have no friends, you feel so like helpless. And I don't know. Back in high school, I used to get bullied a lot for being short because I'm not a very tall person. I could show you in another video, but I'm definitely not somebody you would consider like average height. I'm literally like 5'4", maybe 5'3", but I'm not a very tall person at all. Far from it. But I used to get bullied for being short. Kids used to they would like stand next to me and they would do this, or they would literally, people would run up to me. Like, they would run up to me and they would do this. Like, they would measure themselves and compare their height to mine. And when they're like, obviously, it's like walking up to it's like walking up to a kid with brittle bone disorder and asking him how much he benches. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Obviously, like, that's a pretty wild comparison, but you get my point. It's like, no shit, you're taller than me, but I used to get, it wasn't even just my height that I would get bullied for. I used to get bullied for having long hair, and I have fairly long hair now, but it's not nearly as long as it used to be back in middle school and high school. Like, it seriously went like down to here. Like, it was so long. Like, if you look at the guys from 100 Gex, like, it was like that. I had such long hair, and it was so thick that, like, when I'm walking around, people would tug it, like, and if like somebody was walking behind me, every so often I feel somebody like tug on my hair, especially when I had a ponytail, because every so often, like, if it was like hot outside, like, I'd put it in a ponytail just so it stays out of my hair, out of my face and whatnot, and people would like tug on my hair, and it was the most annoying thing in the world. And I used to get called Pony Boy a lot. That was a nickname that I ended up developing that I really hated. Like, I hated it so much. It just, like, because it's like when you're like 5'3", 5'4", and you look like an actual child, compared to everybody else who has facial hair and they're like fucking like 5'11", 6 foot, it's really demoralizing, and it's really hard to just try to be as tough as them and be as, strong looking as them when you're not that, when you want to try to kick people's asses, but you know for a fact you're just going to get your shit dropped. And for like 2 years, I tried to just fit in as well as I possibly could. I started drinking beer. I could have opened this up like way more intense. Like, I started drinking, but I was never an alcoholic, obviously. Never got addicted to alcohol. I started vaping, but I never got addicted to that either. And I didn't even have my own vape. I literally would walk around. I was this kid, unfortunately. I would walk around the school and I'd ask my friends, "Hey, dude, can I hit your vape?" Like, I was that fucking kid. For a whole 6 months, I did that, and it was all just to look kind of cool, I guess, because I thought it was the cool thing to do. And this was before that I had any idea of like who I was, in myself. In terms of myself, like, I didn't know who the fuck I was, I feel like I wasn't even fully conscious at that point. It sounds ridiculous, but like, yeah, that's just how it feels, because it's like, at that point, you're just allowing everybody else to make decisions for you. So, I think later on down the line, I started becoming more of an intelligent person. And it sounds weird saying that, because it's like, you're kind of just blowing smoke up your own ass if you're calling yourself intelligent. But it's like, intelligence isn't a thing. It's not being smart. Intelligence is literally just, it's an adaptive trait. Like, intelligence comes from, being able to adapt to certain situations, and being able to like think outside the box. That's all it is. So it's like, me saying that I'm intelligent I'm not saying that I'm a fucking genius, I'm just stating a point. But anyway, back on track. Like, I think all these certain situations where like people took advantage of me, and like, I got ditched a lot, lost a lot of friends. Like, I think right now I only have like two actual friends that I actively talk to, you know, and it's kind of sad to think about, but you know, fortunately for me, I'm not exactly somebody that gets lonely. I get lonely every so often, obviously. Like it's a natural thing for humans to do is just get lonely, but um it's not like I'm depressed about it, you know. But over the years I noticed that I did end up developing like some abandonment issues, you know, where like I kind of just walk around looking like this. Like seriously, I'd walk around like with just this angry look on my face. Where not even that, but like I'd walk around like judging things. You know what I mean? Like just have this like unfortunate like look of just like judging people. Like if I look at you, it kind of looks like I'm just fucking like picking into your fucking soul, you know? But um I'm a sweet guy, I'd say. I'm a fairly kind person, and I understand what the difference between kindness and niceness is. So don't think that I don't understand that. But when it comes down to like the abandonment issues thing, like I've just been I've been taken advantage of so many different times in my life to the point where it's like I just stopped caring about people, you know. I don't hate people, you know, and I don't hate everything around me. I'm not fucking emo and I want the world to burn and shit like that, but it's like, you know, you reach a certain point where you just stop giving a fuck about people, you know, because they don't give a fuck about you, you know. And it's part of it's on you. You got to take advantage of the fact that they're taking advantage of you. You know, you have to use that as a learning experience. Like it was definitely a learning experience, but you know, I mean, I don't like to make friends now just because I feel like if I do, I'm going to end up losing that person sometime in the future just cuz they grew out of me or I grew out of them. It's usually the first one. Like most people that I become friends with, I care about those people. Like if like you become friends with me and I actually like you, as sad as it is to say, if I like you as a friend, you know, you did something right, and chances are you actually give a fuck about me. You know what I mean? And I know that sounds normal, but it's like to me when I hear that, like it sounds like I feel like a wild animal who like needs very special a very special form of like um conversion therapy into like a domestic pet or something. You know what I mean? Um like fucking Coco the gorilla or whatever, you know? But yeah, I don't know. I felt like I wanted to share that because I mean, when you live alone and you don't have any fucking friends, like oh shit, it's really hard to just not say something to somebody or something, you know, even if it's just a camera or just talking to yourself. But anyway, I just wanted to I wanted to say that. I wanted to talk about it. If you made it to the end of the video, you know, you probably don't have any fucking you probably have so much free time, but yeah, anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Just wanted to put that out there. Peace out.